Well, hello friends and welcome back to my channel. I'm Renee, and today I promised to show you and share with you my sweet potato bread. We will do that. I'm also going to I want to make some curried chicken salad. It's a healthier version. It's wonderful, and I usually make it. I'm going to make that. I thought, you know what, I'll show you how I make that, because that needs to bake in the oven, and then we can get to the bread once this is baking. But this is real simple, friends. Okay? I'm going to need I got my recipe written down. I got 2 beautiful chicken breasts here. I have no idea how much they weigh. They're just gorgeous looking. Nice size. I knew I was going to make this, so I took it out of the freezer last night and let it thaw in the fridge overnight. I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of oil in my bowl. And then I'm going to put, it calls for, oh my goodness, there we go. It calls for a whole lemon juiced, but I don't have a lemon, but I believe that, I'm just going to take a guess that it's at least a 1/4 cup of juice that comes out of a lemon. I could be wrong, but we're going to go with it. And that's what I'm going to do. You can juice a whole lemon if you want. All right, so with that, I'm going to do, oh my goodness, I'm going to do, let's see, a good tablespoon of garlic, and I put the juice in too, because I just use a little can of minced, or a little jar of minced garlic. Okay, also I want salt and pepper in here. Nice bunch of pepper. We love that. We're going to put some salt in there. Probably a teaspoon of salt. Okay. Now this is our secret. I'm going to do 1 teaspoon each. Let me rinse this off. I just don't want all that oil dripping all over. So I just rinsed it. Okay, we're going to do 1 teaspoon each of turmeric. This is kind of like an Indian spice chicken salad. I love it. And I love curried chicken. Oh, I love curry powder. We're going to do a teaspoon of curry powder. These are my 3, I think these are my 3 favorite spices. And cumin. And my oven's ready. We're going to do a teaspoon of cumin. Okay? And that's it. That's how easy that is to put together. Now we're just going to give this a mix. If you were not going to use this for chicken salad, and you were just going to bake this up and say serve it over rice, which makes it just divine, you could put your onions in with this. But because I'm going to put onions and celery in it, I'm not going to put the onions in there to bake it. I just want to bake these chicken breasts because they'll be wonderful with this on there. All right. I'm going to need this. Now we're just going to, and I didn't season my chicken breast because all the seasoning's on here. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay. That's all there is to that. And I'm going to bake this uncovered. Okay? Very simple. All right, this is just going to go in the oven. The oven is ready. I don't know if you can see that very well. Let me show you that before it goes in. Just simply gorgeous. All right, in the oven it goes. Those probably will have to cook. At least I would want to say 45 minutes because those are pretty healthy chicken breasts. Big. All right, let's get busy with our bread. Okay, friends, here we go. I did this as an experiment the other day. I just kind of modified my Amish white bread recipe to make this, and really all I added to that recipe was milk and eggs, and then I added a little extra oil. So it turned out divine. I mean, you're gonna love this. It's absolutely wonderful. Okay, so to begin with, I have got 1 cup of milk, and it's nice and it's nice and warm, but it's not too hot. 1 cup of milk, 1 cup of water. You could use all milk or all water if you choose. It's just milk. Milk makes the bread a little softer. So to that, we're going to add a tablespoon of yeast. This is going to make 2 loaves. You can have this recipe to make 1 loaf. Now listen, I'm going to put all the sugar in here at once. It's a 1/4 cup of sugar. I'm just going to put all that sugar in there at once. Okay. Now we're going to give that a little mix because we want to make sure that our yeast is alive. Now I use an instant yeast, which you don't have to proof instant yeast. However, I do because I got to make sure that yeast is alive. I don't want to put all my beautiful ingredients in there, my precious ingredients, to wind up finding out my yeast is dead, and then I have to throw it all out and start over. So I don't want to do that. So that's the reason why I always proof my yeast, and I always advise others to do the same. So while that's proofing over here, it won't take long. You're going to need 2 eggs. Well, I've got powdered eggs because during the time that my chickens aren't laying, I'm not spending an ungodly amount of money on eggs, fresh eggs. I freeze dried 6 dozen eggs last fall and for my winter use. Now last fall we didn't know eggs were going to be this astronomically high, so I use this for my baking. Yes, you can also use it. I don't want the oxygen absorber in there. You can also use it for scrambled eggs. So 2 eggs is 2 tablespoons. 4 tablespoons is a 1/4 cup. No, 2. Let me start over. Here goes the accountant. 2 tablespoons of eggs, powdered eggs, and 2 tablespoons of water equals 1 egg. So I need 4 tablespoons of each because I need 2 eggs. So that's a 1/4 cup of each. We got it. Ah. I'll get my water in here. Okay. And all I do is just mix this up. And it looks like it looks like regular eggs. I'll show this to you. Those of you who've got a freeze dryer who have never done this, and you have chickens, when they start laying, oh my goodness, start freeze drying them. It's wonderful. Can you see that? It looks just like eggs. Beautiful. Okay. And our yeast is alive. I'm going to put the eggs in there. I'm going to start adding everything to it. Now I'm doing this by hand because not everybody's got a mixer. So just bear with me because sometimes it takes me a little extra time to do some kneading. We're going to use, let's see, 2 or a half a cup of oil. We're going to add to this. There we go, 1/2 cup oil. The difference between this and my regular Amish white bread is it's only a 1/4 cup of oil, but I want this nice and moist. So we got that. Now we're going to put in 1 cup of cooked mashed sweet potatoes. Now, let me tell you, you can also do this with regular potatoes. It don't have to be sweet potatoes. Same recipe, just use mashed potatoes instead of mashed sweet potatoes. Works beautiful. All right, let's get rid of this stuff. And then we can do our flour. That can go. Okay, so we're going to do 5 to 6 cups of flour. I'm going to start out with 5. Okay? I want to mash this a little bit in here. I'm going to use my little dough whisk. I can break that up just a little bit. I baked my potatoes first, so you can see right here, I got a piece of potato skin in there. I don't want that in there. So the rest of it looks good. There we go. Here's another one. Well, I'm so sorry, friends. I am picking potato skin out of here. We got it. All right. I baked my potatoes and then I peeled them. So that's why you see that. That's all right. Okay, so here we go. We're going to do 5 cups of flour. And when we need, we'll add the rest. You're going to love this recipe. My husband's been eating it with peanut butter and jelly. Okay, here's the 5th cup. Okay. Set that aside. And then we're going to do 1.5 teaspoons of salt. A little more than the other one. Potatoes need salt. Okay. So we're just going to start mixing this up. You can also make a quick bread of sweet potato bread, but that's sweeter. This isn't as sweet because I want potato bread for sandwiches and toasting and, you know, stuff like that. I don't want the dessert bread. That's what I call it. And just keep mixing that. And obviously we're going to need more flour in there. I'll put about a 1/3 cup in there. And if you have a mixer, you can do this right in your mixer, but it will be a bit of a sticky dough. Shaggy, sticky dough. And that's all right. That's what you want. You don't want it real dense and thick and, you know, you want a nice sticky dough. But you do want to be able to kneaded. So it might need to take all this flour. Okay. All right, that's looking good. Okay, so I'm going to turn this out and do some kneading. Actually, I'm going to knead it right in the bowl first. Get that out of my hook. Okay. So I'm going to sprinkle just a little bit on there. And I'm going to start kneading it right in there. And I forgot to take my rings off, but that's all right. Just add a little flour at a time. I'm probably adding about a tablespoon of dough each time, or a tablespoon of flour each time. It's using a lot more dough than normal this time, but it just depends on your weather. It's sunshine right now, but it's been pretty nasty out, raining and snowing, and so, plus I've had my humidifier going in the house, and that does make a difference. We are saving that bowl so we can rise our dough in it. And if you put flour on your fingers, that will come off. Okay. Look how lively that dough is. You're only going to need to knead it for just a few minutes. Okay, friends, look at how beautiful and soft and gorgeous that dough is. Okay, that's kneaded gorgeous. So, my hands are dirty, but it's all right. We're going to put some oil in this bowl. I'm going to flip that down and turn it right side up. I'm going to put a little more oil on that because I don't want that to dry out. This is going to rise for about an hour and a half. It's going to take to get it risen to a good size. I'm going to wash my hands, and then I'm going to put my shower cap on there, and then we'll get busy checking our chicken in the oven. Okay, I got my hands washed. We're going to put this on here. And this is going to just sit right over here to proof. I'm going to wash that off. I'll clean the counter off. And we'll check on that chicken. It's looking good in there. I've got a timer set, so oh my goodness, that looks wonderful. That is done. I'm going to take the temp of it. Chicken should always be 165. And you take the temperature in the thickest part. Well, it's already, yeah, it's 170, so it's done. Okay. Okay, so we can set that on the back. You'll see that in a minute. I'm going to set that back here and let that cool off. And I'm going to go and finish cleaning this up. Get my dishes done while the bread is rising and the chicken's cooling off. And then, friends, we'll get working on that bread. I was hoping that I'd have enough time to do like an English muffin bread, but that might be next time. And that is a wonderful toasting bread. But let me get this done, and then we will come back and we'll get the bread and the chicken salad going. I love this table. So many of you have asked me what size this table is. This table is small. It's a 2x3, but it's perfect for what I need and what I use it for. You know, it's just a nice little, it gives me so much more room to work with in my kitchen, because my kitchen is fairly small. How I would love to add on to my kitchen out that way a little bit. And I always have wanted to take this wall behind the stove, take it right out, just do like a half wall, so it opens this house up. You'll see, when I lived in the Coatmish house, the one that we're getting ready to sell, that's what I did. We made a half wall, and it opened it right up, and it just made it beautiful. And that's what I'd love to do with this. But I don't know if we're going to go that far or not with it. So let's let this rise. This is going to take about an hour and a half to rise. And the chicken's got to cool before we can work with it. And then we'll be back and we'll put all this together. Okay, the chicken is cool enough to start working with. So I'm going to put up this onion, put my garbage in here. I save these, yes I do, for broth. Sometimes I give my chickens the scraps, but most of the time I save it because it's wonderful for your vegetable and your different broths. I don't want none of that skin in there, so okay. All right. I'm going to cut this up quite small. That's good. Now I can put lots of onions in here because my husband won't eat this. He likes plain old chicken salad. I'm making this for myself, really, for the next few days, you know, for my lunches. But he likes plain old chicken salad. He prefers tuna salad. So if I make this, I'll have tuna salad in the fridge for him. And I don't put onions in his. I do put our scallions in there because he can handle those. All right, so there we go. We got lots of onions in there. I love lots of onions. Okay. These are cool enough to work with. I'm going to tell you another thing. I'm not wasting this juice. This is going right in there too. It'll be delicious. Okay, so now we might have to taste a piece of this. I'm going to cut these up fairly small. Let's try a piece. Should we try a piece? You got to try that, friends. That's wonderful. Oh, you can make this into a freezer meal too. The chicken, you can marinate it in that, what I showed you. Only the marinade's just a little bit different. I don't know, if you want to, I'll show you how to do a marinade for this, for either the slow cooker or the oven. We can do a freezer meal out of this too. Not the chicken salad though. Just the curried chicken. All right, let me wash up my hands. All right, so I'm also going to I got a bunch of celery that I need to get used up. We're going to put that in there too. We don't need to season this much at all. But I'm going to put my spicy brown mustard in here. I want to put more water in there because I already have water in there. And then we're going to use, I'd say about a cup of this mayo. I'm just going to kind of eyeball this. It's gorgeous. This is going to be so good. Okay, I'm definitely going to need some more in there. Well, maybe not. I think that's pretty good. We're going to taste it. Oh my goodness. That is fabulous. Absolutely. You got to try this. I'll put my recipe down in the description box. Also, if you want to make a healthier version, you can use Greek yogurt instead of the mayonnaise. This is wonderful. With that juice that I put in there, absolutely beautiful. Okay, so now I'm going to put that in a different container in my fridge. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, this is wonderful. I'm going to have some of this on my homemade bread. I'm going to toast it up. It'll be delicious. My mother used to love curried chicken. She never made chicken salad out of it, but she would have it over her rice, and she loved it. Just about like I cooked it, only I cooked mine for chicken salad. That's it, friends. That is fantastic. So now the bread is not risen yet. It's got about another hour to go. But when it is risen up, I'll get my dishes done while it's rising, and then I'll bring it back and we'll get it ready to bake. And I'm gonna have a cup of coffee and enjoy a little bit of rest and relaxation. Take a look at our dough, friends. It's simply gorgeous. I've got to spray my pans real quick, and I'm going to spray them over my sink because I don't want this on my floors. Just give it a good spray. Okay, so now, this is gorgeous. That turned out, that rose up beautifully. Okay, we're just gonna dump this right out. And I'm going to cut it in half the best I can right here. Okay. This is when I flatten it out. Okay, get all the air bubbles out of it, and I just start rolling. Bring the edges in like you're, almost like you're rolling up a burrito. Okay, then we're just gonna bring the ends in, pinch it up. It's still sticky. Put it right in there. Okay, same with this one. I want it this way. Okay. I'm just going to start rolling it up. Fold the ends in. Okay. Taking. Shove the end in a little bit, pinch that off, get this end in, pinch that off, and just shape it into a nice loaf. Put it in your bread pan. These are going to be gorgeous. I had to get a cloth to cover them. Okay. We're going to cover those. Those are going to sit there and rise for about another half hour to 45 minutes. And when it's all risen up and ready to go, in about 20 minutes, I'll go ahead and turn my oven on and I'll set it to 350. Okay? And when these are ready to bake, I'll bring you back. Okay, friends, this is ready. Look at how gorgeous that is. It rose about another 40 minutes, and it is ready for the oven. Our oven is set at 350. And that, friends, is going to bake for about 30 minutes. So I will set the timer when I turn the camera off, because all your Alexas don't need to go off. So when that's done, we'll be back and we'll show you how good it turns out. You know what, friends? I know I made the chicken salad, but remember the barbecued pork chops that I did for a freezer meal? Well, they're all thawed out, and we love our pork chops, the barbecued pork chops, with rice. So we're going to bake this in the oven. I'm going to show you how wonderful this turns out. I took this out last night and put it in my refrigerator, and it is completely thawed. So with this, we're going to do, I think, I'm going to put like 1.5 cups of rice in there. And same with this. I'm going to put not quite 2 cups. There. Because I do got a lot of juice from the pork chops. This is so quick and so easy. I love this. All right, let me get my... And then I'll have extra liquid from the barbecue sauce in here too. And these will be wonderful and they'll cook up beautifully. With that apple, look at those. Lay them right on your rice. Aren't those gorgeous? Oh, great big mess bag. Those are enormous. We're going to fit 4 of them in there. And then we're going to hopefully get all this barbecue sauce out of here. I'm going to go like this. See if I can't get it all squished up to the top so I can have that lovely sauce in them pork chops. Alright, it looks like I got it. Look at there. Beautiful. And I'm also going to put just a little more barbecue sauce in there. Just a little bit more. I think I'll put a little water in here. Okay. We're going to put a little extra in here. We love barbecue sauce. Alright, I know that's already seasoned, but you know what? I always have to put a little bit more pepper. Beautiful. And I'm going to give it just a little more salt because of the rice. Now, I didn't use any broth added to this. I don't want that. I just want water because I don't want to mix the broth, chicken broth with the pork. I'm not fond of that. So now, let's see if I can get my... Now we're going to take some Reynolds wrap. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take a fork and I'm just going to kind of mix that together. This is going to turn out beautiful. Okay. Now in the oven, those are going to go. I'm going to set them. Oh, the bread's already in the oven, so I don't want to mix this with my bread mix. So I'm just going to set this in the refrigerator until it's ready to bake. And then when that's done, you'll see how good those turn out. Okay, this is done. And these turned out beautiful. Oh, they smell wonderful. Okay. Now, all I'm going to do is get my little brush out. I'm going to find my brush. The pork chops are in the oven. I slid the bread over and made room for them. So, we're just going to butter this up a little bit. This smells divine. Beautiful, look at that. You guys will love this. This, I'm putting a bread section in my new cookbook that I am so close to being done with. I am just now working on the index of that book, and it will be done. But I added a bread section to it, and I put all these recipes of all my bread that I do, I put in there as well. So you'll have quite a variety in there. Even I've got a section in there with compound butters, so you can, that works beautiful for your steaks. Compound butters are nice to have. And I've got recipes in there to make just bunches of them. And because I use them with my breads, I use them with some of my meat. I use compound butters quite a bit. I like them. So we're going to let this chill. Oh, look, I got a piece of bristle. We're going to let this chill or cool off for about 5 minutes, and then I'm going to slip them out of the pans onto the wire rack. And then that's going to take about another half hour for the pork chops, and they'll be done, and I'll be back and I'll show you all of this, our bread and our dinner. And you've seen my chicken salad, which I had for lunch, and it was just fantastic. But I will put all these recipes in the description box as well. Alrighty, friends. This is done. And we'll see how it turned out. My bread is cooling. My chicken salad's in the fridge for my lunches. And take a look at that. That is gorgeous. That turned out wonderful. Well, we're going to plate up some for Mr. Wayna. And then I can show you. Oh, I don't need the fork. I need a spoon. I thought I grabbed my spoon. Okay. Let's set this fork down here. Oh, he's going to love this. I want to put rice on here and then lay it on the rice. Look at that. That rice turned out beautiful. You want to make the perfect rice? Bake it in the oven. Well, the Instapot too. That Instant Pot, it works good there, but I'm telling you, when you bake rice, it turns out beautiful. Take a look at that, friends. Take a look. Isn't that gorgeous? Turned out wonderful. And that was our freezer meal. So there you have it, friends. We hung out in the kitchen again, and I did share with you, I promised I would share with you the sweet potato bread recipe. It turns out beautiful. You're going to love it. If you did this freezer meal with me, the applesauce barbecue pork chops, you're going to love them. Any way you put them, in the Instapot, bake them, in the slow cooker, they turn out wonderful. So there you have it. And I want to thank you, friends, for hanging out with me in the kitchen today. We had a ball, and you've got some more recipes. So until next time, you all have a wonderful day. I'll see you in the next video. And again, thanks so much for watching. All right. Mr. Wayna wants a fresh slice of bread with your dinner. I'll keep the schnitzel. That way they can see how this one turns out.
Hello, friends.
Let's set that over there. Beautiful. The crumb on that's beautiful. All right. I got a new stick of butter out here because it's nice and soft. Look at that still. Look at that. It's still nice and warm. There you go, sweetheart.
Thank you.
I'll be in there. I'll be in there to say grace in a minute.
Yes, dear.
I love you. Okay. He showed you his bread. I'm going to butter up a slice. So again, thanks for watching. You all have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you in the next video.